So, I have made the decision to let the camera back into my life. I have complete editorial control and therefore will only be filming the parts of my life that I would be happy for my grandmother to see. I will not be filming in my shower, bath or toilet, for instance, as I consider the gratuitous exposing of raw flesh, one's private parts and such, should be an absolute no-no in all branches of the media. And I must tell you now, I intend to stick resolutely to this resolve, no matter how much I'm begged to reveal all. So there's no point whatsoever in you continuing to watch if all you really want to see is my naked body. As to my life, and the reason I believe you will still find watching me absolutely riveting, is because I am now a private detective, a dick. And as I am a dick, I'm going to be calling my film Days and Nights with a Dick. Days and Nights with a Dick. I am married, but my wife will not be appearing on camera if I can possibly avoid it. From time to time, however, you will probably hear her strident tones putting her oar in where it isn't wanted, worse luck. Still, that's the price one has to pay, I suppose, for having meals on the table when one gets home from work. But before I go any further, and in order to give you a greater understanding of me and my work, I'd better show you my equipment. Sorry about the awful caterwauling, but my wife refuses to turn him off. So here it is, my equipment. Dick's tricks, as I call them, on my special sleuthing table. My ballpoint pen, my notebook, my magnifying glass, my binoculars, my mobile phone, which I keep with me, my special disguised sunglasses, my thermos flask, my sandwich box, the camera, which of course I have to show you by filming in the mirror, my digestive biscuits. Sherlock Holmes had his opium. I have my digestive biscuits, my electronic keyboard, the modern equivalent of Sherlock Holmes' violin, and my bicycle, which I have to go outside to show you, but at least we get away from this awful row. I'm actually seriously considering moving the business out of my home and down to my allotment by purchasing a garden shed I could use as my office there. I'm very worried though that my wife might miss me too much. Still, I'm very much afraid one of these days she's going to force me into it. This is my bicycle. I don't use a car, as I believe sitting around for hours on end in a car arouses suspicion. Besides, I never actually learned to drive. I have found, though, that if I disguise myself as a bird watcher and ride around on a bike, I just melt into the scenery. Here goes my landline. It might be a client. Hello? Turn it down, will you? I'm on the phone. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean you, madam. I was talking to my wife. Dick Private Dick at your service. I changed my name by deed poll to make it sound more appropriate to my chosen profession. Yes? Yes? I see. You wish me to investigate your husband's sporting activities, or rather where he actually gets to and what he gets up to, and with which female when he claims to be engaged in his sporting activities, his extracurricular sporting activities, so to speak. Money no object. That's always an advantage. Perhaps, madam, you could give me a few of the specific details. I could take them down then. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. I'll see what I can do and get back to you ASAP. Goodbye then. Our first case on camera. This is going to be very interesting, I should think. My flask and sandwich box be filled, if you be so good, wifey. Fill it out, if flask and sandwich box, yes, in Pinnock. She doesn't mean it to. She's going through the change. So, here I am, if I'm in the right place. My client believes that while she's at work, her husband George is actually having a relationship with some woman. Today, he claims to be flying his kite, and that is why I've come along here. Can't see any kite, or George for that matter. There's a big ship out there. But I mustn't let myself get distracted. I'm always doing that. It is rather pretty though. Magnificent, in fact. Now stop it, Dick. Pull yourself together. But look at those lovely flowers. And an even more magnificent ship. Fantastic. Even more of those lovely flowers. The moon's come out. George won't be doing any kite flying now, so might as well call it a day. Good night. Actually, I won't say good night just yet, as I've just remembered I recently heard that filming famous people sleeping is apparently very fashionable. I therefore thought I should give you the opportunity of seeing yours truly sleeping, especially as my film is called Days and Nights with a Dick and not just days. So are you ready then? Here goes. Good night. That's probably enough of that, I should think. Goodness knows how anyone could think that could sustain an audience's interest for any longer. So, back to the grindstone then. Seem to have got myself lost. Nice place, though. Back on the right track now, I think. Well, at least a track. Well, I got here eventually. I've actually been here, outside George's house, for several hours now. I have strict instructions from his wife to follow him wherever he goes. He hasn't gone anywhere. All that's happened is that 6 male visitors have gone in and come out again, and I'm getting a bit fed up. I'm also worried that someone might be watching me, and it's not a very nice feeling, so I think I'll toddle off home. I'll just check to see no one's following me. No, I don't think so. That's a relief. It's the next day now, and there's still nothing suspicious to report with regards to George, but I still sense eyes are watching me from somewhere. Just look behind me again, see if no one's following. I'm still alright, I think. That's lucky. Well, another day passes, and still my investigations have progressed nowhere. I'm beginning to think that George may be totally innocent. And yet still, there's those eyes. Watching. 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 Someone's definitely following me tonight, so I'm going to get a move on. Sorry, ponies, I can't stop the feed you tonight. Well, I got home, and I think I've given them the slip. Another day, another dollar. Hello, Tony. There have been developments. For a start, after a good night's sleep, I feel somewhat recovered from yesterday evening's ordeal of being followed. Then, I don't actually think I'm being watched now, though the situation may change at any moment. Furthermore, as soon as I arrived outside George's house this morning, he came out, went a little way down the road, and entered into this cottage here behind me. I have been observing very intently since he went inside, while at the same time, of course, pretending to be an ornithologist. It's very strange. I smell evil in the air. I just caught a whiff of something terribly nasty. Oh, it's me. Perhaps I should have put on a clean shirt this week. Actually, that's very fortunate, because I thought I lost all sense of smell years ago. Suddenly it seems to have been fully restored. It's very lucky. Well, not at the moment, obviously, but it means I can smell the flowers again. Well, there are some here. Nearly as bad as my shirt. Or perhaps it's just the stench of my shirt is so overwhelming. I think it must be. It is exactly 24 hours since I arrived here and observed George entering through those patio doors. He closed them up immediately after entering, and they've remained closed for the rest of yesterday, all through last night, until they were opened up again 10 minutes ago. I couldn't discern by whom. George has not exited, and I'm beginning to think that he may be guilty after all. Wait a moment, I can hear someone coming. Morning, George. Good morning, Clifton. How's the wife? Same as usual. Complaining as she left for work. This time about the scrambled eggs I cooked for her breakfast being too runny. You poor thing. You can help me recover. My patio door is always open to you, George. Right-o, Clifton. George must have exited through Clifton's front door and gone home. Just one of the trials and tribulations of being a dick. Clifton sounds like a good bloke. George is very lucky to have a friend like him. After hearing all that, I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that George is an innocent victim of a harridan of a wife's totally unfounded suspicions. A harridan of a wife not too dissimilar, in fact, to one I know only too well. I refer, of course, to my own beloved. She too has from time to time voiced her suspicions about yours truly. I'd really like to go home now for a sleep. But just on the off chance Clifton may be running an establishment for loose women, I'd better stay on the case. 4 hours have elapsed, and there is nothing new to report. George is still inside, and this has again gone out through the front door. I'm so very tired now that in case I drop off to sleep, I put the camera on telephoto onto the window from which Clifton was talking to George.
Hello down there. Can I be of any assistance? No, it's all right, thank you. I'm an ornithologist, a bird watcher. There's a bird on your roof which I'm trying to get on film. Goodness, how exciting. What sort of bird is it? It's a big blue one. A very big blue one. What sort of species is that then? It's a tit. I thought they were very small. It's a giant one. Goodness, they're very rare, aren't they? George, there's a chap out here
So there's a giant blue jet on my roof. Leave him, Clifton, you big hunk you, and come back here.
I'm sorry, I've got to go. George wants me. I hope you get your giant blue tit on film then. Bye.
Looks like we've solved the case then. But I'd better keep up the subterfuge for a little while longer. I don't want any more of my suspects discovering I'm a dick and coming after me with evil intent. I assume the nasty piece of work who's been watching and following me is an old suspect bent on revenge. I can't comprehend, though, how he or she could possibly have broken my cover. I've always been most meticulous to preserve an authentic ornithological appearance. For instance, you may have noticed that I recently updated my binoculars in order to further enhance my credentials. Even Clifton, who seemed very knowledgeable on the subject, was clearly impressed.
That's a reasonable shot, I suppose. It'd be nice if you turn round, though, Bertie. That's better. No, don't go. Oh, that's a shame. The giant blue tit has flown. I'd better phone up George's wife now, I suppose, and tell her what I've discovered.
Oh, hello, it's Dick Private here. Dick Private, Private Dick. I'm ringing up to inform you of the results of my investigations into your husband George's possible infidelity with another woman. I'm very pleased to be able to tell you that you have nothing whatsoever to worry about on that score. Absolutely nothing. No, nothing at all. Nil. Zero. Naught. Nix. If I were you, I'd give him a big kiss and a cuddle and say you're sorry for having suspected him. And my advice to you in the future is that you are much more appreciative of everything that he does for you. I'll be sending you my bill. Goodbye. Oh dear, she didn't seem to believe me. Still, I know. I suddenly got that feeling that I'm being watched again. Sometimes I yearn for my safe and uncomplicated days as a Ronin operator. At least I can go home now, I suppose, happy in the knowledge that I successfully solved my first case on camera. I just hope I'm not followed. I am being followed! Oh, crikey! I sense that I'm being relentlessly overtaken. I'd better hide behind a bush, wait for them to pass me by, then make my way home by a different route. This bush will do. I'd keep the camera running to provide evidence in case I'm murdered. I'd better keep deathly quiet. She was enormous, with giant strides. No wonder she can run faster than I can cycle. She wasn't an old suspect bent on revenge. She was an old client. Some people are never satisfied, no matter how much work you put into solving their cases. Oh no, hiding behind the bush hasn't worked. I sense she's on my trail again. Help me, someone, she's getting closer.
Reluctantly, I've decided to give up private dicking and to become instead a hypnotherapist. That way, I'm more likely to be able to control my clients' attitudes towards me. And so, until the next time that I decide to let a camera back into my life, goodbye.